How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right.
I know all I do is win.
No matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we win.
Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. We've been winning for a minute. It's essential how you living for God. It's essential how you living in your mind. It's essential how you living for freedom. It's essential how you living with Sabrina. It's essential. 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 It's essential.
All into the music. Oh my God. And welcome to another riveting edition of Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina. I am your host, Dr. Sabrina Jackson, the people expert, as I help people with people, even if that person is themselves, because I say all the time, we think it's somebody else with the problem, and it's really us standing in the need of some care and some support and some healing, all of that. And so I do that in a myriad of ways. I am a clinical therapist by trade with over almost 40 years now, closer to 40 than I am to 30 years of experience working postgraduate school. Wow. That's a wow moment. And then I am a life coach. I am a business coach. I am a speaker's coach. I created a model called Essential Colors, designed to help you understand how you're wired, but then more importantly, how to deal with people who are wired differently. I am an author. I also have a publishing company where I publish my works and the works of others. I have a nonprofit, Sabrina's Girls. I have a business called the Nonprofit Creators, where I help people set up nonprofits, do nonprofit trainings, grant writing trainings. That's a lot. And then I have a media umbrella where I am on Fox 2 every single Monday with the Mental Health Mondays. And then now we're doing Ask Dr. Sabrina. That's in the second block, the second hour. And so you can ask your questions and get them answered live right there on TV at 10:30 on Monday. So feel free. And I think what I'm going to try to do, I don't know if I could do this. I got to figure out how I can do it. But the people that do ask questions and we pick them, I want to be able to send you something. I want to give you a mug or a T-shirt or something. So hashtag Ask Dr. Sabrina. You can do that every Monday and get your questions answered live. We did have people today, so I'm excited. We did have 2 questions. One was about anxiety. The second one was about depression and how do you deal with those things. And so I got good feedback. People said the answers was good. They was pretty slamming, but I really appreciate when I'm able to do on Fox 2. And I told you earlier that I do grant writing training. We have one coming up. I'm partnering with my brother and sister from over at Finco Avenue, Church of God in Christ, Pastor and Lady Anderson. They have a nonprofit called Finco Avenue Community Development Corporation presents This Grant Is For You. It's Saturday, August the 10th, from 8:30 to 12:30. You'll be able to ask any question you have about grant writing. You will get a workbook with a glossary of terms. I think that is so critical because a lot of times you hear terms and you don't know what they mean. So we're going to be able to give you that information. You'll get to learn about the different elements of a grant or a proposal. We'll also teach you and talk about the different places you can go and get grants. And so it's a half-day training. The price is $175. It includes your workbook. It includes some other materials. We just give a bunch of information that you'll be able to benefit from if you yourself, not only yourself want to write grants, but what if you want to hire a grant writer? If you don't have the right information, they can tell you anything. Trust and believe, I'm going to give you the real because I've sat on both sides of the fence. I have been a person who's been funded, and I've also worked as a funder. So having both lenses tends to give me a breadth of knowledge and assistance that I'm able to teach. And so go to Eventbrite. The site is up right now. This grant's for you. You can look on Eventbrite and you can get your tickets, get your space, because space is limited. We only have so much space. So once tickets sold out, they sold out. And so I have an incredible guest today. And you know, I say all the time, I know incredible people. I do. I'm just blessed that way. I have Mr. Prince Askew. Now let me say this. We're going to be talking about pimping. Look at my brother, pimp sharp. They say that's casket sharp. That's what they say. When you that sharp, you're casket sharp. You're just sharp. But let me give you a little bit of this man's background. He was born and raised in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Not Detroit, Michigan, Ann Arbor. And so sometimes, do you think that when you hear that a person was born and raised in Ann Arbor that they are a little bougie?
Well, the difficulty that I've dealt with is it's always an underestimating and a over measuring.
Okay.
Meaning I'm not black enough, I'm too white. They'll say you talk too much when you're educated.
Oh yeah, yeah. When you're educated, you got something to say. You definitely got something to say. And I always say this because one of the things that I hear people say all the time, which drives me completely mad, is when people say they said. Who the hell is they? My they has a name. So if I give you information, I could tell you where it came from. So like earlier, I was talking about the World Health Organization. I just have facts and stats and stuff in my head. I just do. So, of course, around mental health, because that's my platform. So the World Health Organization has put out a study that says since the pandemic, there's been a tsunami of new diagnosis of mental health problems or diagnosis of mental illness. 53 million new diagnoses of depression, 76 million new diagnoses of anxiety. Now, why I do believe that those are numbers, I don't think that those numbers are large enough. And I don't think they're large enough because people that look like me ain't in that number. People who are first responders ain't in that number because during the pandemic, they was working. If you was a police officer, a fire person, a nurse, a child care provider, you were working. You didn't have time to go and sit on somebody's couch or say that there was a problem. You were busy working. So I believe that we have to give information in such a way that we know where it comes from. And then we don't just simply say they.
Well, they comes from idolizing. They comes from when we take a human and make them a superhero instead of remembering that mama got feelings too. Not that mama need to live a life, but that mama go to work and she's tired. And when she come home, she make that meal. And she has a life that she attends to. She has to listen to my blues and her friends and her co-workers and her boss and the lady at the donut shop or at the grocery store. And we forget to sometimes ask them how they doing and what they need.
That's so good. That's so good. That's so good. We got Prince in the building, and Prince has a story to tell. Let me tell you, I'm just gonna bullet some things out. Born in Ann Arbor, graduated from Pioneer High School.
Yes.
Attended college as a paralegal. Was a part of the foster care system. Became a state ward because of abuse that you suffered, physical abuse that you suffered. Went to prison. Mm-hmm. And before you went to prison, set some records and things as far as sports.
Oh yeah, I was an athlete, and that come because my uncles.
Okay.
On both sides of my family, my uncle Robert was a middleweight champ in the military.
Wow.
I had my uncle Zani. He was a track star in the football, basketball players, and other stuff, and. It just was always, my grandmother would always tell me, whatever you're going to do, be the best in it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Grandma.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I was awarded the state for a little while. And I had to understand my mother was carrying some things that it was easy to put on me because I was there to love and wasn't going to fight her back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Like caregivers get caught up in that in abusive relationships thinking they can fix someone else when at the very end the sister finds out the biggest problem isn't that I hate my life, I don't hate my children, and I don't hate myself. I can't fix what's wrong with me.
Oh, I love that. I can't fix it.
And then you hit it on identifying sometime because of pride we don't want to identify. I'll give you a perfect example. A lot of sisters, the first medical thing they do is go lay down. And I had a cousin that got in a car accident, and she laid down because she wasn't feeling well. You know how y'all do? I'm just lay down for a minute, baby, I'll be all right. Mm-hmm. And never woke back up with her kids in the living room.
That is such a good thing to talk about because too often when you're not feeling good, you do want to just lay down. But I remember my mother saying that the bed can drain you. Mm. She used to say that. She said, you got to get up out that bed because the bed will drain you. It's almost like, you know how you get in the bed and you feel sunken? You go to the sunken space. And yeah, you're supposed to rest. You're supposed to sleep. However, if you're not feeling well, then it's time to get some assessment. Because you might lay down, just like you say, you lay down and you don't wake back up because something is going on internally that the feeling of something not being right needs to be attested to. It needs to be attended to. And so I always say pain lets us know something wrong. Mm-hmm. If you're feeling dizzy, something wrong.
But now watch this too, sister. Also, we have what I call a mental trap. You can lay in that bed and not always get all of you up. If you understand what I'm saying.
I got you. I got you. And you rushing to get back to the other parts of you.
Mm-hmm. And then mentally, you actually leave yourself there. And then the rest of your family don't get it. And then we see it more and more now vividly where people, girl, that's all you're going to do is stay in the house. You ain't coming out in the sun. Right.
There's so much that goes with the feeling of being down, the feeling of feeling less than. I was talking to a client recently, and she was just saying that I feel bad all the time. I just feel bad all the time. And because, a lot of people get into using substances, she says, I vape because it makes me feel better.
Okay.
And I say, the vaping is not making you feel better because the side effects of the vaping is the very thing that you say you don't want to feel. Depression, anxiety, all of those are symptoms of the vaping. So,
but the mental thing starts with the addictive personality.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it can be genetic. Yeah. Sometimes it can be DNA. And let me just say this, is that I know so many people who DNA, they're not even aware of, because they may not have ever known their real parents. So they don't know where they come from. And people don't want to tell them the truth. I remember, and I hate to even use him as an example, but it's a real example. Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson did not know that his mother was really his sister until the person he thought was his mother died. He was a grown, award-winning actor. Devastated him. And to be real honest, when we look at Jack Nicholson, he's not the same. I don't know if he's gotten help. I don't know, because sometimes when you think but he did not know. And sometimes when people don't know and they're being told a lie, they're living a lie, and then when the truth comes out, then it goes, okay, yeah, that do make sense now. That is why I never felt a connection to this, just all of that. We got to do better, people. We just got to do better. We got to do better. I see Prince over there thinking. He thinking. Okay.
See, I
go ahead. I love a good debater.
I'm a no excuser.
Okay.
What I mean by that is this. I come from Ann Arbor. My mother and father had high middle class jobs. So I really have no excuse for why I went to prison. But it's the choice
you made.
Because of the demons I allowed in my life that was against what they taught me. Now, see, I can't sit and get depressed about because they took my name off a wall for some records that I held when I did something to shame my family name, not a school. See, my grandmother sat and cried while I was in prison. But in prison, I make sure that not I got woke, because that to me is some more excuses.
Yeah.
Right. What I did was I got real with myself, with that man in the mirror that I had to walk past when I was in that cell. I had to make change. Talking about how I hurt and don't want to put the work in don't mean nothing.
That's the part. It's the part of not wanting to put the work in. But the other thing is acknowledging that work is needed.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Accountability, acknowledgement, acceptance of truth. And then you have to surround yourself around people that's going to feed you truth. Because if you surround yourself around people that just to get along, to come along, you're not, what growth that you going to get when they want you to sit there in the gutter with them?
But even beyond it's not all, it's sad to say, but it's not always even the gutter. Sometimes it's just that I have this facade that I want to portray to the world that ain't real.
Well, see, when I say gutter, it's less than you're supposed to be. You have all the potential that you have, so you're sitting where you're supposed to, right? But if you were sitting in front of Target with the same genius that you always had in you, but you ain't using it, you in the gutter, boo. You in the gutter depressed because you know where you're supposed to be and you ain't. You in the gutter because you can't discipline yourself, but then you want to look for somebody else to do it, but then you want to rebellious against it.
Yes. It's interesting that you even say that, because people used to say to me, I have two siblings, both brothers, and all three of us came from the same two parents. And you talking about different.
Oh, yeah, it's not all girlfriend.
You talking about different. You sometimes,
I didn't mean to say that.
My brother that's gone on to glory, rest his soul, but my brother was a gun-toting fool. He believed in shooting first, asking questions second. And so people would say, well, how did he didn't have the same, he had the same parents, same upbringing, same church, same grandparents, same everything. But what you said, he made a decision to hang with some folk and to do some things that was completely contrary to what he was taught.
You say that about your brother, but we see that in the streets and it is not a downgrade on women. See, I speak about women because I had strong women that I could depend on, whose voice I still hear, whose patterns are still in my heart, okay? I'm self-sufficient with a house. I don't need a woman in the house. I need one to be there with me to make it a home. But everything that's in it, from the front yard to the back, I can take care of and do. Wash my own clothes. And yes, I do use the sprinkle bouncers, because I got that. It's got to stay fresh from when I put it on till I take it off. You understand me? I can go in that kitchen and cook. Yeah.
That's pimping.
I can go in there and cook a 3-course meal. You understand me? Because I sat and paid attention and listened when that nurturing and love was there. And when it's not, baby, I fly on them wings to support myself. See, if we don't, with all I've been through, I'm standing right now where I went on the east side and they told me you ain't supposed to go. And I went over there and did my comedy. I went to the Aretha Franklin Jazz Cafe where they told me you can't get in the door. And I was co-producer. I was co-host. And I did my set. You can't stop brilliance. Only brilliance can. Only thing ever stopped me in my life was me.
Yep.
So there's no excuse.
Say that.
And then that depressed thing you talked about, to me, don't get me wrong, I think that there is some depressions on most levels, but just like it says in the Bible, and for those that don't want to get along with it, we can go another way. But look here, it says the lion walked around devouring who he could, and everyone who devoured, they had to jump in his mouth. You got to jump in the bottle. You got to jump in the needle. You got to jump on unprotected sex. You got to jump on I'm sharp and my kids is raggedy. You got to jump on I got a Jaguar in the in the driveway, but I'm living in public housing.
You can cuss.
I'm sorry.
Feel free. Go ahead. We cuss here.
Pimping. I'm just saying.
We use colorful language.
My proudness, my grandmother Lavella, who gave me everything. I named one of my daughters after her. In Jackson, Michigan, they got this transition house for girls, okay, called My Place. They got a computer room named after my grandmother, Lavella Johnson.
You better go ahead, sir. When I say I love that.
But see, I didn't let it stop. See, the backlog on that is I'm looking for sponsors for this comedy show, because I'm trying to show them the guy that was selling dope, the guy that had the pistols, the fly uncles that I took all the wrong stuff from, though I love them and they love me and they made change, but I was stuck on stupid. Now I done changed myself. I got 2 little fellas that's up under me right now, 10 and 14. And my community with me is helping change their life. I sat in Style Commonwealth. Floyd, can't remember the man's last name, but his slogan was, there's no such thing as a bad boy, just ones that make bad decisions.
I agree. Because we don't come here bad.
No, we born in sin, but you have, look, my sons that have made bad decisions, the first bad decision was stuff that I did, letting them watch and letting them see. Yeah. The music, the movies, the bad, influence of the characters that I let come in the house and let their spirits be around. I have to take accountability for that.
Yeah.
Right,
I agree.
Because I helped start them wrong. Then I can't look at them later on and say, why you this and why you ain't been this.
It was a cracked door, and all I needed was the little feet to get in there.
Let me say this, because I'm looking at your flyer for your comedy show, and I definitely want to spend some time talking about that, because one, comedy is absolutely necessary. Laughter is medicine for your soul. So the very times you feel that it's inappropriate to laugh or you should not laugh is when you need to laugh. You probably need to laugh because that laughter helps to heal some things inside. And so I love the fact that you're doing comedy. And on September the 28th, you have a show.
Yes.
Jackstown Comedy Show. And Josh Adams. Love him.
Yes.
Gemini. Love him.
The realest.
When I tell you I done took him so many places, he'll get there and be like, I don't have no way. But he got a car now. Hallelujah. But I love Gemini. And then Wayne Mack. How you say Smasher?
Smarter Adams.
Smarter Adams. Smarter.
Now, something about Smarter real quick. All right. Smarter is a karaoke king.
Okay.
This brother has one of the most range voices that I've seen. Please check him out. His comedy is beautiful, but he's duality.
Okay.
I did my first special at Starter's Lounge with the Crack Jokers. And my first special, Josh Adams blessed me that day, and we got a little bond. But he is one of the realest every time I see him.
Every time. I love him.
Okay.
Love
and
him,
I admire the
him.
love that he got for his daughter. But everyone that's on my show, there's something personal about him. Chef Bullet that just won Coco's competition.
Yes, okay.
All right. Now, when I see, it was his cockiness and his arrogance that I liked when I saw him. I'm going to win this competition, and I seen that on him, you know what I mean? So then when he got on there and I watched him perform and I watched the crowd, I could see the work he had put in to being where he was at. I got one of my dearest people that have helped me, Miss Joyce.
I see Miss Joyce.
Yes, Miss Joyce. And when I say she's not a diamond in the rough. She's the diamond mine.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. She's the diamond mine.
I love that. And then Colleen DePony?
Yes, I met her through Miss Joyce at one of Miss Joyce's shows.
Okay.
They call her the stay-at-home mom.
Oh,
and
love
this
it.
lady has such beautiful energy. Such beautiful energy.
And so I'm looking at, it's going to be in downtown Jackson. Jackson is about an hour away.
Yes, and it's going to be at the Weatherwax Hall, which is a very elegant venue that has a balcony. I'm going to have VIP tables. Now, dig how we're going to set this up. The stage is going to be in the middle of the floor.
Okay.
It's going to be a path the comics got to take going through the crowd.
To get to
Basically,
the
the framework of going through Jackson. See, I got to come down in your area, your backyard, and you taught me and you showed me a lot, and I'm going to keep on coming. So what I did was take and transform where I come from and what I know and that warmth and that love. So they have to walk through the comics as they brought up. And however their performance is, just like you look at me and say, man, that ain't sharp, that don't go together. Them shoes don't go with that outfit. That come from Wayne Mack. That's what they're going to do.
Okay.
And it's eye to eye, and they're touchy-feely country city people.
I love Jackson. Let me say this. I went 2 weeks ago to Chicago to a golf outing. And my son plays golf. I'm trying. But he and his lovely fiance, they played scramble. So there was two other people, and the people they played with were from Jackson. And the gentleman, he's an older gentleman. I think he used to be a commissioner there. I forgot what he had a business there. But he's like the man in Jackson. And so it was so much fun learning and hearing about the history and things of Jackson. Because Jackson was one, I think, did he say that Jackson was the first place to have a black-owned bank?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did tell us that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
Well, now another first just recently, maybe 2-3 years ago, my brother owns the first black liquor store.
Wow.
As old as Jackson is.
Wow.
And that's Jack's Takeout down on Francis.
All right. Let's shout him out. So it looks like we're going to have to do a convoy up to Jackson.
Yes.
But now listen, this is what I need y'all to understand. It's a comedy fashion show. I was blessed to meet a gentleman named Moses Thompson out of Chicago, and I went to the Don's Ball, where these brothers reminded me of my childhood. And my childhood went like this. In the daytime, I would see the older gentlemen in like their monkey suits, their work outfits, or the pants top that had their name on it for where they work. In the evening, that's when you seen everybody sharp.
I miss the days of dressing up.
Please say that again.
Well, we dress up.
Yeah, like
We
don't see our community.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this.
And that's what this event's going to bring out.
Your community is who you surround yourself with. And so I happen to surround myself with women who believe, because I am a Miss Patty baby, and Miss Patty Turner is sharp every single time she come out the house. If we going to the bank.
You see the back of that card right there?
Miss Patty always looks.
Turn it over. Oh, that's me at the baby.
Look at the baby. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. He's so sharp. He's so sharp.
It ain't
But
nothing new.
I do agree. And so I think that, even with our millennials and some of the younger people, that they feel like it's not a big deal to dress up anymore. You don't have to dress a certain way to work, But I just believe this: how you look is how people address you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I always say you have one time to make a first impression. After that, you're playing catch up, and you might be able to play catch up. But who wants to play catch up? When I show up, my best shows up. I bring my A game to every game. So when people see me, they see me.
Yeah.
And then it's just the little cherry on top when I start talking, because I have something to say.
You know what? I love how you just said that. Because a lot of people, when they meet me or see me, because most of the time I'm in the corner kind of quiet.
Okay.
Unless I'm around people that I feel secure enough to talk to. Because I feel like because of the knowledge that I have, it'll be a waste. And I wasted a lot of time. So I usually sit quiet. But when you can spit them facts and share and grow and mature with each other and shine, and then make a difference, a reflection on them younger ones, and that's a lot of what a mix of exactly what I'm trying to do in every step and everything I do. I don't got no sponsors. I got God.
No, wait. So hold on. Let's back that up.
Back it up.
Let's back it up, because I believe that when you work for God, God is the CEO. And I'm just the director that he directs which way to go.
That's right.
That's just how he do it. So God is my CEO. And so the doors that open for me, I say to him all the time, if you open a door for me, I'm running through it. Because it used to be a time that the door would open and I would sit there going, but I ain't never done that before. And I don't know if I can do that. And what if people don't like it? Child, what I've learned, you're never going to please 100% of the people 100% of the time. Never. You're just not. So haters are a part of the equation.
And now here's the thing, and it's the mindset. Because see, when you understand the elements around you, then put them in proper perspective.
Yes.
All of y'all, you haters, I love you. You motivate me because you push me.
Yes.
Because I told myself where I was never going to go back, so you can't put me there.
You can't put me there. No, you can't do it. I love that you have such transparency, because other people, that's what the name of this show is, Speaking Life. And so I believe that life and death lie in the power of your own tongue. And so just because I've been through something don't mean I can't get to something.
All right. But the testimony though, the testimony of what you've been through and how you achieved and appreciating where you are, that's the light.
Yes.
That's the light giving.
Yes.
It's too many people that don't want to share their testimony.
Don't want
to share their pain.
They out. And let me say this about your pain. I've said it here many, many times. God will allow your pain to pay you.
Say that again, please.
God will allow your pain to pay you. And so I have, bits and pieces of my story, but at 14, I was gang raped. Now, at 14, after being gang raped, I went home and never said a word. And I did not say a word because by the age of 14, I was already conditioned not to tell. And so I talk about the molestation that happened in my family prior to being 14. So 14 was that was easy. I was already conditioned not to tell. So I went home and didn't say a word. And I was 48 years old before I ever talked about it. And so now I wrote a book about it. And the book is called Conditioned Not to Tell. And so I talk about the conditioning that impacted my life in other areas of my life, not just in my relationships with men, but my relationships with people, because I was such a stuffer. I was taught to stuff my true feelings. So if my feelings were hurt, I wouldn't say nothing. You would never know. And when I tell you I'm a master, when I say I'm a master and not saying how I really feel. Ooh, it takes work for me to stand and say how I really feel, especially if my feelings hurt. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's still a work in progress now.
Now watch this. The prison you build is the prison you stay in. Not the one anyone else can build. Because you can be in a mansion and be the loneliest person. You know, how my comedy starting to evolve has to do with the fact that I'm reaching deeper into the me. My uncle just came from California. He shared something with me that I suppressed. I used to go to Ann Arbor Public School after going down to Jackson and coming down to Detroit to the relative's house.
Okay.
Right? I'm talking about culture shock.
Of course.
Okay? They don't understand. This for me, this was culture shock. I come down the city, y'all black people live like this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I first seen Spam, I never seen it.
You had never seen Spam.
I had never seen Spam or bologna in my house. And when I seen it, I was like, what is this?
What is this?
Delicious creation of nothing.
This delicious creation of nothing.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you, when you fry up some Spam, you talk about some kind of good.
Went to Sam Club the other day. They had a whole pallet of Spam.
A pallet of Spam.
It's a delicacy in Hawaii.
But now watch this.
Yes, it is. It's a delicacy.
My uncle told me about, he was at the house and the school called. And so my mom's pacing back and forth. He said, what's wrong? He said, that boy up in the school clowning again in the back of the classroom, got all the kids laughing, you know, in the school call. Now, the backlog of this is Ma Stables, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox, and the rest of them, y'all was listening in the back room while I was on the other side of the door.
I could hear it.
Oh, man,
it was funny.
Man, look here. So he's sitting there looking at my set, one of my sets, and he says, if your mother could see you now after whooping your ass for all them times, and look at what you done with this. But even when I started, it was still kind of suppressed till I had to understand it. The me. That's what they want. That's what they're going to accept.
Yes.
Not a character.
No.
They want the rawness. They want me to talk about how it feels at 50 when you say to the person, y'all have a bathroom? No, we don't have one. And you done told yourself, I'm holding it, but you pee from here to the car. You know.
Oh my God, I can't wait. You know, because this month is what were we talking about? Who was we talking about last week?
Yes, the kidney.
Last week we were talking about the kidneys and the whole the way that the kidney and the bladder and what was the other thing she says?
The urethra.
It's the urethra and like how it all works. And so a lot of times when people say they have kidney issues, that they think that they have to go to the bathroom all the time. But that's more of a bladder issue. It can be that way. But when I tell you, I learned so much. The other thing I learned, remember that even though, because we think about waste as being number 2. But urine is waste.
Yeah. Everything that pushes out of the body.
Yeah,
and
that's
sweat.
waste.
And sweat.
Sweat. What? You better come on.
Now let me tell you something about sweat
That's
real
so
quick.
good. Come on.
All right, we're going to talk about sweat real quick. All right. Oh, you got the look on your face.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Come on.
I didn't take my vitamins this morning.
I done threw them off.
But sweat. You got, with our people, you got to understand something about sweat. What is the oldest person in your family? How old were they that you know?
100.
That person didn't have air conditioner. That person sweated. That person was in the sun. And if you do the research, I don't care who it is, if you do the research on them people, they sweated and they stayed in the sun.
Stayed in the sun.
The same thing that we don't want to do now.
Boy.
Well, I like the sun. I personally like the sun, and I like heat. However, let me say this, and I've had this, I've been sunburned.
Yeah, it happens.
And so, no, this is, This is a 2-year thing. So last year, this arm, because I'm driving, and this arm is in the sun because I'm driving. It's in the sun. So all this was all blistered. But I didn't know what it was because I didn't think it was sunburned. I didn't know what it was. So I called my girlfriend, who's a doctor, holistic doctor, and she says, "Oh, Sabrina, you've been sunburned." And I says, "I can't sunburn because I'm dark.
I'm black."
And she said, "Ma'am, is it skin?" And I said, "Yeah, skin can burn, no matter what color it is. It can burn." And I was like, "Oh." So she told me what to do. I had to get some sunblock, and so that was last summer. So this summer, we go out to Metro Beach, because I'm now a boater, member of the Black Women on the Water. Shout out Black Women on the Water. Was at Metro Beach, out in the sun, coming home, looked at my arm, same thing. And I did the same exact thing. I called my girlfriend and I took a picture of it and sent it to her. And I says, "What is this?" That's blistering from your skin burning. And I said the same exact thing. I says, "I didn't think I could burn." She said, "We had this same conversation last year. Could you please get it in your mind that you can sunburn, ma'am, and you need sunblock?" So then Patrice told me about what's the black
girl sunscreen.
Black girl sunscreen.
Now,
black girl needs some sunscreen.
Now, you're the second sister that I've heard this situation. I have an aunt, Davi, and she played softball all my life. So
Okay.
she was out in the sun.
All the time.
Let me
yeah.
go with her, right? That woman cannot go. The sun cannot be directly on her skin anymore.
Wow.
She
Wow.
was out in it too
Look,
much.
I mean, gotta have a hat.
Oof.
Like she literally has to block herself from the sun,
Yeah.
and then you can see in her skin the damage.
Ooh.
I have damaged skin on my arms.
She's putting aloe vera.
I've been putting fresh aloe vera.
Yeah.
Thank you, Auntie Vicky. Auntie Vicky brought me an aloe vera plant. And so I cut it and I open it up
Yes, ma'am.
and I put the stuff on there.
That's
Put the
raw from
raw
nature.
from nature.
Best.
And please listen to what she's saying because it is so critical. And I know that a lot of people are not going to like this next statement I make, but I don't care.
Okay. Make it.
Please go natural. I have been juicing
Yeah.
papayas, dragon fruit, pomegranate.
Pomegranate. I love
Pineapples,
pomegranate.
fresh fruit. I drink that in the morning. I've been doing more natural stuff for my skin. And I say this to say, there's every form of life, there's some form of pimping going on. And I say this to say, pimping, baby. Look here.
Pimping my fruits and vegetables.
Pimping the few fruits and vegetables. Pimping.
Now, they got a whole aisle in the grocery store. Fruit roll-ups, gushers, granola bars, all this for our children. And in every one of those items, they have some type of carnogen.
Carnogen. Could you break that down, sir, please?
Carnogen is cancer-starting, forming chemicals
babies.
for you vapors, for you weed smokers. They also have this thing called elixirs, which is for smell, which is for taste.
Yeah.
They're artificially made things. You think a hot dog got extra filling in it, so do your medicine.
Ooh.
All I'm saying, if you care about yourself, you keep listening and playing the game. Johnson & Johnson. While you wicked that's some pimping. They told her to put it between the breast, between the legs. Now she can't have kids. The titties is crooked. I mean, come on, man.
The titty.
They're not big, not one bigger than the other. It just turned to the
It's
left. It don't even
crooked.
with the. They don't even take pictures together no more.
They don't even take pictures together anymore.
No.
Oh my God.
They act like they evil twins. I don't like her.
I don't like her. But that is so true. It's so many things that we were told that was okay that was never okay. It was designed
To kill.
to kill you.
The process. Look at all the sisters. Look, I got nothing against you not wanting to have nappy hair. But every time you fried it, dyed it, and laid it to the side, that why little Leroy crazy now.
Uh-oh.
Because the
Little
man
Leroy.
specifically did it to go in your bloodline, to go in your DNA. You want to trust him and hate me. I don't even understand it. I'm supposed to be your queen. You don't want to put no trust in me, but you go to work every day listening to somebody that don't like you.
You know what? Let me say this, and I love you just sparked a thought that I had. I was at a leadership summit a couple of months ago. My church, shout out to my bishop, Bishop Ethan B. Sheard from Greater Mitchell Temple Church of God in Christ, and over Southwest number 2, Victory 2. Anyway, he had a leadership summit, and the gentleman that he brought was from New York. And he was amazing. He really was just amazing. But one of the things that he spent time talking about is why there's so many more women in church than men. He says because churches teach women to honor and serve the pastor and not honor and serve their own mate. He says, so in my church, when women get up to speak, they don't say to the pastor. They say to God, who's the head of my life, and to my husband, then to the pastor. When I say I've been in church my entire life, and I've never heard a pastor say to his congregation of women, honor your man first. I ain't never heard it. Never. Wow. Never heard it. And I was like, sir, where are you? And I need to come hang out with you. I like how you teach it. You teach it good. And he has more men in his church.
No, I'm going to show you something, how God is. And people, I'm so glad because we all believe that he's real. I'm going to tell you something amazing that I heard the other day. Okay? Now, I have a profound love for women. Okay, I love y'all coming to my show and laughing. I love the sparkling when I have the outfit on and you're like, okay, that man looks good, and I walk by and ooh, bro, you smell good. I love that. Okay, but I listened to this sister on the internet the other day when I told you, she said, I'm not mad at myself. I'm not mad at my life. I'm not mad at the men in my life. I'm mad because I can't fix me. She said, I know how to, lay down with one. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. But I don't know how to love or be loved by no man. I was always taught how to use one, how to disvalue one, how to misplace one, how to check one. But I was never told or taught how to listen, respect, or love one.
Okay, come on. We're going someplace. Y'all better come on.
And that just amazed me that a woman was so open. Because no disrespect, sisters, and you ain't got. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it so real with this. You ain't got to come to my show after I say this. I've seen in my life pimps, real to life pimps. You understand me? Knock you on your tail because you talking out the side of your neck. But the most vicious thing I've ever seen is a woman that tell another woman a lie and make her believe something that she ain't supposed to believe and do stupid stuff she ain't supposed to do. You know that girlfriend that go on every girl's trip and ain't got no money and she got kids, but you keep footing the bill for the stuff for her. You know that sister I'm talking about, to sit up there, you understand me? You don't tell a girl you're smelling musty, but you should. And you know who I'm talking about.
Ooh, we're going someplace.
You know that girl from come out, and they always hit him with this one. That's my day one. No, she killed you day one.
I say this. I heard, I was speaking for a group of teenagers, and I heard something that a teenager said that just, it made my mouth go wide open. She says, I understand how these girls come to school and their lashes are done, their eyebrows are done, their nails are done, their makeup is beat, but they missed the water.
Ooh.
Shut
So you mean to tell me that when the soap and water run in the shower and go between your toes, that's not really cleaning them?
No, it's not. And so this is what I say about water. She said they miss the water. They miss the water. As women,
Tell them your water.
not only do you need to drink water,
Submerge in it with
you need to
bubbles
submerge in
around.
it. You need to sit
Get in
the
some
kitty
water.
cat in the water.
Can I please? Okay, let me hear. Go down to Glory's today. Get you some powdered milk. Go over to aisle 7. Get you some bleach. You ain't got to get a big bottle because all you got to do is put 1 to 2 caps in the water, okay? It's not going to turn your skin colors, and it ain't going to make the thing smell no way. It might make it smell. He might like a nice vinegary bleach smell. You know what I'm talking about? Compared to that, I want. And what is with this Lumi?
What's Lumi?
Lumi is where a white gynecologist woman turned around and told all the black women, if you put this paste on you, you ain't got to wash for 3 days. And if you bring that Lumi in my room, I'm telling you, the pimp gonna come out. I'm gonna kick you all the way back to the track. Yeah, Lumi, they got this thing. They say they call it deodorant for the body.
And
you
the
got
cracks and the butt crack. And
she with the lace and you just open your fellatio. The first time I said, I know she did. They letting them talk.
Can we? Okay. I'm gonna say this too. I just gotta say this because it's driving me crazy. I got a problem with people who make their private parts completely bald.
Ooh, chicken butt.
Because as an adult, the God created us to where once we get a certain age, we grow hair.
Crown. It's
And
the
so
crown.
we grow hair. So I don't want. To me, it's something about that looks like a baby.
For men or for us?
Both.
No, listen. You know what it's doing?
The whack.
I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to keep it 100. All of you shaving crotch hussies.
Men do it too, though.
No. Listen to me. That is some child pornography
what I say.
promoting. Because, listen, as parents.
You're getting educated today, people.
As parents, when you wash your daughter, you giving her a bath, right? She don't got no titties. Right. She got a chicken butt down there. Why do I want to see a 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 30-year-old chicken butt? When a man comes of age, he gets a mustache. A woman gets air up under her arms, maybe a little dust between her breasts, and some between her, all up in her cootie cat. God put it there for a reason, for sanitary reasons. Now you're shaving it off because Steve Harvey told you that a nigga want to see you in high heels and a shaved cootie cat. No, we don't. I don't want to see no grown woman standing in front of me looking like a 13-year-old by the body. No, you got to understand it. Before, you got hair on it. Now you're going to shave it off to look like a kid? And then you wonder why your boyfriend messing with your daughter who got the same looking cootie cat you got, you dummy? Because half the sisters, half of the sisters that's walking around, you understand me? Her daddy was the first boyfriend. Her uncle was it could be the male role model. It could have been that mama's boyfriend that went up in that room.
That's why in The Color Purple it say a girl child ain't safe in a family of men.
Hey, look, no, let's keep it real. If everybody be honest about their families, this ain't condemning their families. We talking about a spirit that was from Slave Row. Okay? Because when you see them movies and Master King and the little daughter.
We wait till we get to the last 4 minutes of the show.
My bad. I'm just saying.
It got deep.
Come on.
It got deep.
Yeah.
Pimpin'. Tell me about your clothing line.
I got a clothing line, you understand me, that I blessed the ladies with. Gave them some shirts. For the ladies, it's pink and got pimpin' here.
Yes.
Okay, if you let me see yours.
Okay, hold on.
And then on the back, you understand me, because I never wore Jordache or I don't like wearing other people's names. So you understand me. What I decided to do Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Look at it. Look at it. Look at
Look
that.
at the look.
Oh, look at that. That's pimpin', baby.
Pimpin'.
That's me. Look, Mom. They talking about me.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah, I got it embroidered so it can last. The women's color. But it's not the thing of, it's not highlighting what used to be the gentleman's club. Because, see, there's a twist there. When it was on this side of the track, it was a gentleman's club. She's a call girl. When it's on this side of the track, he's a nasty, no good pimp, and she's a whore. And they doing the same thing. It's just manipulation, the pimping of the mind, the spirit, and the body. We forget that God cast Satan to the earth. So don't be surprised about what you see, because we're in his habitation. We are not of this world. We just in this world.
Come on. That's what the word says.
When you forget your basics, when you forget your beginning, that's why it's so easy to fall for anything. And that's why it's so chaotic right now. Little Sarah was sitting there, I can't wait till I get old. I ain't going to do this to my kid. And now look what you've done to your kid. All these single-parent mothers producing all these punks, these sissies, these sensitive.
Not all of us.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying the ones that we seeing the trouble with.
Right.
But now here, watch this. You can be single-parent.
Yes.
But if you don't have balance for that boy,
yes.
If you don't have balance for that girl,
yes.
With the rest of your family,
yes.
Getting the right productive men around them,
yes.
Then yes, you do produce, and the statistics show it.
So that's why my book is called "He's Not a Statistic: 12 Laws for Single Mothers Raising Black Males."
There's an answer.
Yes, and the first law.
One.
Is that they have to have a connection with God.
Two.
My role is to make sure that they have a connection with God. Another one, major, is to never badmouth the absent parent.
Ooh.
Because I have 3 reasons. One, God says, honor your mother and your father so your days will be long. So you're teaching your children and allowing them to
cut their days short.
They're going to cut their days short. So stop all that. Second, that child's half of their DNA comes from that father. So you can't make them hate something that's in them. That ain't even smart.
Hate themselves from the beginning.
The third reason, which is probably my favorite, the third reason is your fault they the parent. Because there used to be a time you couldn't wait to get the text. You couldn't wait to get the telephone call. You couldn't wait to lay with the person.
Say that again, though.
Yeah. It's your fault.
Number 3 is what?
It's your fault. It was your choice that made you lay with, because you couldn't wait. You couldn't wait.
I'm going to be devil advocate just for a second. No, my granny and them, it was their idea that I hooked up with it.
Okay, yeah, it was their idea, but you was the one that made the decision to do it.
Well, Laverne, was her cousin. She said he was just visiting.
I know, and that's wonderful, but you still made the decision, because at the end of the day, when you lay down by choice, I'm not talking about force. That's a whole different talk show. But if you lay down by choice, that's a choice you made.
So you telling me, I'm trying to get this, because we're at living life, okay? Now, so you telling me, I'm responsible for my choices. And so my son is 31 years old. I've never badmouthed his father. In fact, in the book, the first person that I thanked was God. The second was his daddy. Because even though he and I didn't work as a couple, without his DNA, I would not have created a Marcel Smith. And the greatest gift I've ever had is Marcel Smith. And without his daddy's DNA mixed with my DNA, it would not have created that particular child. So I thank him. Because I absolutely adore my child. We couldn't make it as a couple. I need to stop there just for a second. That is a powerful, to me, as a man, acknowledgement from a woman to say, we didn't make it as a couple. we couldn't get it because it's always a it's always a finger pointing.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's always a blame with no accountability. You know, how are you in the picture all your life, but you ain't wrong for nothing, accountable for nothing, but you in the picture all the time.
Every single thing that we do, we have a choice.
You're
and
amazing.
So you have to,
I love how you think.
We have to own our stuff. And so I will say this, and this will be the thing we end on today. But my spiritual mother said something to me some years ago. She said, Sabrina, you're controlling. And I started laughing. And she says, well, what's so funny? I says, because I'm nice. She said, you do realize that being nice and being controlling are two different things. And I promise you, at that time, I did not think so because everyone that I knew that was controlling was mean. Mm-hmm. And because I'm not mean, I did not equate with being controlling. And she went on to say, well, that's why you married two men who weren't your equal. Because you didn't want him to be able to say nothing to you.
Wow.
Ouch. Ouch. So what I had to do, and this is what I've done, is that I really had to look at myself and my control issues. And where my control issues came from was the abuse that I suffered. I wanted to be able to make sure I controlled all of that. And so the first thing I did was take ballroom lessons. Because ballroom lessons require you to be led.
Please tune in to. No, I don't even want to talk about this. Look, tell a friend to please pay attention to Dr. Sabrina. This is some deep, raw, honest, fresh that everyone needs to have in their life. Wow.
Where can people find you?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, in the red light district. You understand me? Because my girls got to work every day. They got to work.
Pimpin'. Prince, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we can't wait till September the 28th. We're going to make sure we're there. I want you all to come and support my brother. And you know what I say every single week, that what you say to yourself about yourself needs to be positive. Only say good things to you about you, and then you'll see good things come your way. Have a great week. See you next week.
How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right.
I know all I do is win.
No matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we win.
Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. We've been winning